Hello, hello, hello. My name's Ellen Go, and welcome to the inaugural episode of B is for Bullshit, the only podcast where we say what we want when we want because we're grown and nobody can whip our ass. And plus, if there's going to be so much bullshit in the world, we might as well talk about it. Today, B stands for bottom of the barrel. And when we're talking bottom of the barrel, we're not talking about crabs. We are specifically talking about being a black woman and dating in the city of Atlanta. For me, specifically, this is a little bit different because I am a plus size woman and dating is already bullshit in Atlanta. But dating as a plus size black woman is, como se dice, mega bullshit. Let me hit you with a few statistics. In the Atlanta metro area, unmarried adults are approximately 51% of adults aged 20 to 25, 30. And they're usually unmarried, which includes those who are never married, divorced, separated, or widowed. And that's slightly higher than the national average of 49%. We make up single person households as of, this is 2024, 44.5% of city dwellers live alone. Yeah. Ranking us here in Atlanta fourth nationally in the single person households. And notably, 29% are women, making us the third highest among U.S. cities. And that's not very far off looking at the dating pool here in this city. Who gonna be the boys? Who is gonna be the boys? Why are we having these issues where it seems like these men want to be chased? Never in my 30 years of being on this green earth did I ever think that a man would be looking for me to send him a good morning text. What is going on? Have we reached a point in the dating lexicon where we completely switching positions? I know Usher said we were trading places, but this is just a tad bit too much. What else? Let's see. Let me tell you about my past week. I've been on what one may call two little datey waities this week. And both of them very promising. Both of them with guys who, by all accounts, should be the guys that you date. One of them a nurse, and the other, okay, hear me out, personal trainer, yes, but he has like a full-time job too, but what I know mostly, personal trainer. Really fine, very fine, and that's why I did it, girl. That's why I did it. I'm not gonna bullshit you. But by all accounts, like, these are hardworking dudes, attractive guys. The conversation is okay as it can be with a man, obviously, but fairly okay. And the dates fall flat. Now, me and the personal trainer did get along very well. We talked a lot. We did some other stuff that I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Would never bullshit you here. However, I don't see either of those connections going anywhere anytime soon. And it's just a matter of fact that boils down to maybe communication. Why is everyone in the city of Atlanta convinced that they are Professor X? You're not an X-Man. I'm not an X-Man. I can't read your mind. You can't read my mind. And then this is a city of people that want to be so nonchalant. And I'm a very nonchalant woman. So I can't deal with nonchalant. I need to know that you like me. I need to know that you want to talk to me. Like, that you enjoy talking to me. So I will continue to talk to you. However, in this city, it's like, if you show you give a damn about anything, baby, nobody's taking that seriously. You're weird, okay? You're really weird. So you have a city full of girls that are acting like the guys because the guys have for so long just been really nonchalant about everything. And the girls are like, okay, cool. We're tired of wearing our hearts on our sleeves. We're tired of just wanting to show that we want to be wanted by you. So now the girls are like, fuck it, we're also going to be nonchalant. We don't care either. So it's a city that nobody cares in. We got New York, the city that nobody sleeps. Atlanta, the city that nobody cares. We don't care. Which that has always been true for Atlanta, because honestly, I've lived here my entire life. Everybody a celebrity. Everybody in Atlanta think they're a celebrity. So if you see a celebrity walking down the street, nobody's bothering you. That's why Atlanta is so fun. You can see some of anybody. We do not care. You keep that over there. Shit. You may be Usher, because Usher be out, like, you know, running around the city in the skating ring over there off Cascade. Don't nobody bother Usher. Why? Because he's Usher, but I'm L. I be out in the streets too. I got fans too. So we don't care. But it's creating the system to where now we're not just caring about celebrity. We're not caring about the rent prices. We're not caring about the shitty service at the bars, at the clubs. We're not caring about dating. We just don't care about shit here. Nobody cares about anything. And kind of sucks. But that's the type of bullshit we deal with here. So let's look at some more statistics when it comes down to dating here in Atlanta. As I said, I am in 3 very niche groups when it comes down to dating. I'm a plus size woman, I am a black woman, and I live in the city of Atlanta. But if you want to say something that's a little bit more niche, I am at the age of 30. So, you know, 3 very niche groups of what's going on. Now, if we're looking at national dating statistics for black women, let's see. Looking at 2022, nearly 49% of black women were never married, up from 37% in 1990. Okay, so we're getting married less. It's up. Only 30% of black Americans were married versus 48% of the overall U.S. population. So not only are we as black women not getting married as often, black people as a whole not really getting married like that. And then you have 50% of black adults have never been married, compared to 34% of the general population. Wow. So not only are we getting less married since the 90s, less married, we're the least married, and around 50% of us are probably never going to get married. Those are the statistics. That's what we're working with as of right now. And then if you look at the divorce stats, this is where it gets really nice. Divorce rates stand at 38.9% for black women, slightly higher than men at 38.7%, and close to the national average of 42%. So all of that to say, we got a lot going on. And it's not even to say that it's just black women, because those stats go for black women, black men, just black people in general. And we're looking at the state of Georgia, so it could be different somewhere else. But just looking at Atlanta specifically, again, nobody cares about anything. Apparently, marriage falls into that trend as well. People are not getting married. But some more bullshit that might account for that is hookup culture and baby mama and baby daddy culture. We were getting married more in the 90s, but then you started getting music in the 90s. It's alright to be a baby mama, it's alright to be a baby daddy. And I'm not knocking baby mama and baby daddies. That's not the thing. If you have your baby, you love your baby, all means power to you. I know a few single mothers, a few baby mamas that are killing the game. So no tea, no shade. However, when you look at the cultural significance of this becoming our norms, you see more babies coming, more baby showers that are super extravagant, that one could almost look at and say, this is a lot of money being spent on a baby shower. We're overcompensating for something. It's probably the wedding that will never come from this union. A child has already resulted from it, but a wedding probably will not happen. So we're overcompensating with this over-the-top baby shower, with this over-the-top gender reveal. You can see it. I'm not just making it up. We see the videos. We see what it looks like in the overall of everything that we're looking at. I mean, social media makes it more prevalent nowadays. We know everything. We can see it. So this is not even far-fetched to those of us who have a mobile device in our pocket. So that's what it's looking like. It's looking like we're becoming more used to baby mama, baby daddy. I sometimes see the people saying, hey, marriage is more of a commitment than having a child. I've seen this on multiple videos. Marriage is more of a commitment than having a child. You got to go down to the office and fill out all these paperwork and put these white people in our business and yada. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. That's actually very wrong. If we're looking at it, a child for 18 years, you're locked in. You're locked in. I can go get married today. And I can decide I wanted an annulment tomorrow. And I'm up out of there. Paperwork on file and all. I go back down to the office. We go today. Say I want to get married to this person. Beautiful. Love them. All my life. This is my man. Today. I could wake up after the wedding tomorrow and say, this was the worst mistake of my life. I cannot stand this man that I am looking at in the bed next to me. We need to go get this fixed today. And he can look at me and say, you know what? Hell yeah. I don't like you either. And we can go down to the people's office and get that shit undone. A baby cannot be undone. Cannot be undone. You are tied to that person for 18 years. No matter if you like them or not. I mean, you can choose to be a single parent, single mother, single father. That's fine. You're still tied to that person. That baby still shares half of that person's DNA. God forbid something happened to that baby where it's a health issue. You still gonna have to reach out to him. What is in your family's history that could be prevalent to the situation at hand? Or, this is in my family history, but he got the child, so he got to reach out to you. God forbid anything like that happen. Y'all are in each other's lives. Y'all locked in for 18 years at least. At least. Because being a parent, I'm not a parent, can't fully attest to this, but being a parent means y'all gonna be locked in as long as that child is alive. 18, where y'all gotta be completely locked in, but shit, past 18, you have your child goes on to college, y'all still support that fucking kid in college? Y'all both gotta go take it up there to go drop it off? Your kid still meets people, they gotta do Thanksgiving, Christmas and all that, they're bringing people home. You can't just meet mom, you gotta meet dad too. Maybe at different times, but y'all both are still part of this. Boom, your kid gets married. Both of y'all gotta be at the ceremony. So you're still locked in. You're not as locked in after 18 because your kid's an adult, but you're locked in all of that time. It's a full commitment. So for anybody to say that getting married is way more of a commitment than having a child, that's insane. That's lunacy. I hate to see it being pushed, but it is being pushed. And, the people are coming up. The common sense is not as common as it once was. Can't lie to you. Not gonna bullshit you. It's not as common as it once was. So, the people are listening to the bullshit and you're saying, you know what? Hell yeah. The kids were left behind. Somebody go get George Bush. Because what can you do? If you're coming up and you're finding all these things and you're hearing all these things and you don't have the awareness to say, hey, this is actually lunacy that people are telling me. And you ingest that and say, you know what? It's not so bad for me to be somebody's baby mama. At least, I got a piece of him. I got a part of him. And that becomes the norm. Well, of course, what the fuck do we need to get married for? You already have him locked down for 18 years. He got to deal with you for 18 years. What's the point of getting married? So we can see how the statistics happen. And then on the other side of that, because of course, Now you have that is becoming prevalent in the culture, but then you have the other side, which is where people like me sometimes fall. Everything sucks, okay? And dating sucks. And I'm not gonna be nobody's baby mama, so that's number one. And number two, I'm also not settling for bullshit. Like, this is such a life to live where I don't know how much time I have. It could be limited, it could not be. But I don't want to spend it with someone who I don't like. Our grandmothers and some of our mothers, I don't know how old y'all mama them is. My mama and her, she just turned 50, whatever. The point of the matter being, our parents and our foreparents, grandparents, whatever you want to call them, some of them, the women, of course, some of them had no choice but to get married. They had no choice. My grandma or my great grandma could not get a bank account without a man. They couldn't get a bank account till the 70s. My mom was born in the 70s. So that means my grandma and my great grandma could not get bank accounts. Okay? They had to be with a man to have any type of agency. So that's what they did. But while they were doing that, I mean, they had more of a lock on the household than we do now, you know. But now you get to the point where they're having these backroom conversations with the girls. They're telling the girls, you know, hey, maybe worry about school a little bit more. Maybe let's not deal with these men. Maybe let's not do these things that we were doing back in the day, because we had no choice. But you have a choice. You can get a bank account. You can be your own woman. And the guys are like, oh, y'all don't want to be like y'all grandmothers no more. Grandma used to cook and clean and suck granddaddy dry and all that. Grandma didn't have a choice. Grandma did not want to do that. Grandma wanted to go to school to be a nurse. However, she could not because she was a woman and she couldn't have her own bank account. That's why your grandmama had all them kids and fucked and sucked your granddaddy and dealt with him and his philandering and cheating and having a whole house up the street with the daughter, a son, and the Holy Spirit all in that household up the street. And little Johnny from up the street looked very familiar and very close to what your Uncle Johnny looked like. And that's why. Because your grandmother had to deal with that. Nobody can just sit up around and say these are not the instances that caused your grandmother to act a certain way. Because it is. And she told us. And she's having these background conversations with us that you're not hearing. Saying, hey, don't be like me. Don't go this route. Because that's not what I want for you. And you're going to be miserable how I was miserable. So grandma told us. It's not something that we're just choosing. But then you have people like me who choose to listen to those stories and learn from the days of old. So I don't settle for mediocrity. And that, of course, becomes revolutionary when you're in a system in which women are expected to grovel at a man's feet. And then in Atlanta, where don't nobody give a damn about shit, you have to look at it and say, huh, why are we like this? But nobody wants to do the work because we don't care. Remember, this is the city of not caring. But then you say to me, well, Elle, all of the doom and gloom is one thing, but all of the girls are not single. And I would say, correct. All of the girls are not single. Some of the girls have their man and they're cohabitating with their man. And speaking of cohabitation, 30% of black adults aged 18 to 44 cohabitate. But the gag is only 45% of those unions result in marriage within 5 years versus 60 for white couples. So what that means is, old girl got her man. Old girl's man moving to the house because let's just face it, the rent in Atlanta is too damn high. The gentrification, all the people moving in, the rent is high. So if you want to stay in the city, anywhere where the shit is moving and shaking, you need a roommate. And you might as well, room with your man that you met. And y'all get into this whole situation and y'all rooming together. But The girls that have their men, are the men marrying them? And the answer is no. The statistics say that's not happening. Or at least not within 5 years. And then you end up like Jim Jones' girl, Chrissy. You're gonna be fuck around and be Chrissy. Okay? So you can say, yeah, the girls are having their men, which, of course, we're talking about dating today. So, I mean, technically, they have their men. But do you want to be dating for forever? The answer is no. The goal is usually date, relationship, marriage. That's what you should be scribing for, or that's what they used to scribe for in the past. And again, you don't have to want that to be your reality. I'm not saying that if you don't want to be married, that makes you a terrible person. Yada, yada, yada. Your time is bad. You're part of the problem. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what it looks like. Now, of course, you say, how do we fix this? Where do we date? Where do we find the people? Well, I'll tell you where people are looking right now. The people are using the dating apps. Of course, Atlanta is a city of movers and shakers, so shit is always going on. You can always meet people in person, you know. But another side of that is the dating apps. People are using the dating apps as well. You know, it's a big ass city. So while you're meeting people out, you don't always get to connect with everybody you should be connecting with. So people are trying to find their connections in other ways. So when you look at the dating app usage, as of 2022, about 34% of Black adults reported using dating apps, and that's slightly above the general average of white adults at 29%. And I always chalk that up to discrepancies in dating. I have friends of all ethnicities, colors, backgrounds, variants, pronouns, all that. Everything. It's just different. And if we're looking at black versus white, when it comes down to this dating thing, odds are my white friends have been dating since they were about 14 years old. My black girl counterparts, we were being called fast. We couldn't even look at boys at 14 years old. So they were dating. We were not. So they got more skin in the game. We don't. And also, they date differently. They date who they want. They move throughout the friend groups. So the girls have dating experience over there. They're a little less abashed, a little less shy, a little less learning as they go in adulthood. And sometimes they have friends that introduce their friends to their friends, right? And most of them are very marriage minded. So, yeah, they use the apps less, you know? However, on our side, we didn't get to do all of that. I mean, I'm not saying that's every black girl's experience. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. Let me go ahead and go on the record as saying I can't speak for all of the experiences of all of the black girls. You probably did that when you was 13, girl. I don't know. But me personally, no. You didn't get to date. That was your little friend. And y'all didn't get to go on real dates. Like, y'all would, like, sometimes maybe just hang out. You know? So, yeah. We're on the apps more. And then it gets really tricky for black girls on the apps. Let's talk about why. You have perceived desirability. Tricky words. Big words just to basically say that black women usually rank among the least desired in racial groups on mainstream dating platforms. And that's crazy. We all know that's crazy. One platform analysis found that non-black individuals are 30% less likely, and even black men at 20% less likely to show interest in black women. So, not only are we crippled when it comes down to dating because we date late because we don't want to be perceived as fast, we want to beat out teen pregnancies, all of these things. So we date later. Then when we get to dating later, we don't have the concepts of dating. So we sometimes use social media. Sometimes we go out in person and meet people. Sometimes we're using the apps. In all of these places, we only really can grab statistics about the apps because those are data, number, you know, that type of thing where it's all compiled into one area. And we can see there that we're ranked, at least via the apps and the statistics, as the least desirable. And this is not only by other people, but also by the men who are supposed to be our counterparts, right? So that sucks. But let's go even further. We also experience a lot of emotional toil and burnout. Looking at all of these studies and data, it basically says that black women report high levels of dating burnout with frustrating patterns like low follow through and skewed app experiences. And I can attest to this. I'm a part of this group because I am tired. I basically have dating apps right this second, and I put in my bio, I just erase everything. Nobody's reading the bios anyway. So, like, dating in Atlanta is the 8th circle of hell. This, of course, is referencing Dante's Inferno. Go read that book. It should have been required reading. But, like, we're all doing the same thing. And the numbers are not lying. The experiences that are being told are not lying. Dating as a black woman is rough. You don't always get the swipes or the responses when you reach out first on the apps. And the sad reality of that is men are less likely to kind of commit as well. There's also this emotional stress, and it's always compounded by these like societal stereotypes of the strong black woman, this character of mammy. You know, you get weird ass fucking requests in your inbox. Are you into? Some guy asked me the other day. I was gonna say it verbatim. Are you into cuck? And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I looked it up and I was like, this is some bullshit. I know he didn't ask me that. I know he didn't ask me that bullshit. There's this perceived thing, even when you try to branch out and date outside of your race, you have the weird requests like that, or you have the I want you to dominate me. Why do you think I want to dominate you? Why am I being perceived as dominating? You don't even know me, and all, you know, what is up with that? You are going to have, and you can't really just be like, hey, I don't like what you just said to me. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not like, why are you saying that to me? Because then you're angry. Then you're angry and black. So it doesn't really matter how you go about it. You know, of course, because in public, all you have to do is basically look at somebody and then you're angry and black. And you get on the apps and you try to reach out, you try to intermix and mingle, and then there's that. And if you don't want to be in a cuck type relationship, or you don't want to dominate a man, or you don't want to eat the ass like groceries, I'm sorry, but also a request I've seen. So if you're not into any of that extra freaky ass shit, or you just say, hey, I don't like the fact that you don't text me back, and I always feel like I'm starting these conversations with you and you're not actively engaging in them. So I'm starting to feel like this is not something that you want. All of a sudden, you're difficult. You are too much. You are angry. And at this point, we deserve to be fucking angry. Look at the dating pool. It's terrible out here. It is terrible. Now, let's get into some preferences, intentions, and safety concerns. Because of course, these are always things that we hear, right? Now, this specific survey that I'm looking at has to do with the BOK app. This is an app, if you're not familiar, it's for black users, usually black men and black women who are trying to find each other. That's the whole premise behind the app. Now, here are some stats for you. Communication and trust collectively account for 62% of what black women seek in a partner. Basically, I want to be able to trust that you're not going to step out on me, number one. And I want to trust that I'm going to hear from you, that you're going to communicate with me, that if you have a long day, you're going to say, hey, babe, I have a long day. I'm not going to be able to talk to you that much, but I love you and I'll see you later. All of that maybe takes 10 seconds to type. If you're a girl that does the whole message thing, or a quick little phone call, because you see how quick I said it really fast. Less than 10 seconds if it's a phone call. So that's really all they really want, right? 62% of what we seek in a partner. Then if you look, 80% are open to dating someone younger than them. So they're not even saying, hey, I'm just going to keep it at, let's say, like a 10-year age range. Okay. If I'm 30, I'm going to date 10 years ahead, and that's all. They're not even saying that. I'm not saying I'm just going to date someone from 30 to 40 and then 40 and up. Like, that maybe used to be the norm maybe 10 years ago. But now the black girls are saying, you know what? Maybe it's just the guys that I grew up with. Maybe the younger ones are cool, right? And then also maybe I'll be open to dating the older ones too, but I'm going to open myself up to the younger guys because who knows? So that's 80% that are willing to date someone younger. Now, here we go. 52% aim for a long-term relationship. And for 78%, that leads to marriage. Okay, cool. Now, you look at those and say, okay, well, those are some nice statistics, Of course, those girls got to be getting matches because that's the only thing that would make sense. But, you would be wrong. That is not the case. It's not working. That's not working out. So then you would look at why that's not working out, because you're on this date, because again, this is a survey for the BLK app. This is for black on black love, right? So then you'd look at why this is not happening, because this app has a specific goal in mind, a specific type of people to create this goal. The women are open. They just want some communication. They just want to be able to trust you. And they're open to dating a wide range, a plethora of men. So you would think that large openness to the dating pool and basically the bare minimum. They only want the bare minimum. They only want communication and trust. Bare minimum. They're not asking you for money. They're not asking you to pay all their bills. 62% just want you to send them a text message and not cheat on them. That's all. So why, with all of this availability, the way that black women are making themselves available, why is it not resulting in relationships? Well, let's get to that last little piece. Because remember, this part was preferences, intentions, and safety concerns. The fact of the matter is that 64% do not feel safe as black women in America. And 56% don't feel safe on mainstream dating apps. And of those, 60% feel safer on Black, an app made for black singles. And then that last statistic, you have to wonder if it was made in good faith, because of course it's made for a specific site. They're publishing their own findings and it's in regards to their site. But then you look at who is committing the most crime against black women. It's usually black men, unfortunately. So not only are you just looking at the overall, men on women crime, you have that. But then for black women, you have black men taking you out at a super high rate. So, of course, dating them comes with their own caveats. But then you're dating everybody else too, and you're still having these same, albeit not as high, rates of things happening to you. So then it becomes, okay, if I can't even get trust, communication, and somebody not putting their hands on me, trying to rape or sexually assault me, then why would I even date? What's the point? Why would we do this? And then we end up with what we have now. A bunch of people not dating. A bunch of people not even really taking the chance or a risk on opening themselves up to other people. A bunch of people trying to date, but being in a pool of people who don't take anything seriously, who don't want to actually flourish. And then you have the people who do want something, but just don't know how to go about getting it. So I think I'm rather falling now into that category of becoming despondent from it. I want this, but I don't know how to get it. So what do? Right? Do we just say, fuck it, I'm going to go get me a cat and I'm going to be celibate for 2 years and then I'm going to go live in a monastery? Well, I can't do that last part because I'm not Catholic and I think that's part of the whole thing. And like, can't do that. But maybe a cat is on the table. But before we get to that, I'm going to try a few other things. And some of those things are actually going out to singles events. So not just going out, because that puts you in a space to someone to like possibly attract people. Someone could find you attractive and come up to you. But I'm one of those people that people think I'm really mean. I look really mean in the face sometimes. And I have social anxiety, so I might be buried in my phone because, don't talk to me, please, because I'm scared of human interaction. But those just going out just puts you in a place to be seen. People don't know that you're approachable and that you want to be approached. So my newest goal is to actually go to dating type situations. Yeah, I'm gonna go speed dating. I'm actually going to go speed dating. I think it's going to be a fun thing to do. Probably hilarious. I'm going to go with my best friend and possibly my cousin because we're all in the same age range. So I just think it would be a good little fun time. Either I'm going to come out with someone who I like at least, or with a very funny story to come back and tell you guys when we come back. Because like, while B is for bullshit, B can also be for bravery, maybe getting out of our comfort zone and trying new things. And B is always for bad bitch, and I'm one of those. So, it could go well. Everybody love a good bad bitch. Everybody like a brave ass, badass bitch, and I can always have a good time out in the wild. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I suggest if you're a baddie like me, and you want to see that in your future. And again, if you don't see it in your future, that's totally fine too, girl. Get your cat. Or not even your cat. Just go have fun by your motherfucking self. But I like cats. So, like, get you a fucking cat. Settle in for the long run. I mean, shit. They say the aliens are coming in November anyway. So we might not be here no more. But, if you're not the girl that wants to be in a relationship and this is just way too much for you, you settle down. You have a good fun time. You can live life on your own terms by yourself and probably have hella fun. But if you're a girl that does love, because I'm unfortunately a lover girl. I love love. I want to be in love. Like, fall is coming up. I want to have matching sweaters and go to a pumpkin patch and go to a haunted house and carve pumpkins real bad with somebody's son or daughter, because I'm part of the LGBT. But yes, so real bad I want those things, and I'm not afraid anymore to say out loud, yeah, I do want those things, and it really sucks not being able to have them in the way that I want. But I'm also an adult enough to know that if it's not working out for you, you got to figure out why it's not working out for you, and you got to make some changes to make it work out for you. So I encourage you, like I encourage myself, let's go outside. Put down the dating apps probably. Let's go outside. Or you can still use the apps. The apps are fun. But let's go outside. Let's go to the mixers. Let's go to the singles mixers. Let me see you out with me at High Frequency Fridays at the High. Let's go to some rooftop parties. Let's go meet the people. Let's go speed dating. Let's just start throwing shit at the wall. Because again, we might not be here after November. The aliens are coming. But even if we are here after November, like, life is too short to like just be side-eyeing why things are not going in your favor. Yeah, so I challenge you to do the same thing that I'm going to do. And I wouldn't tell you to do something that I wouldn't do, because that's some lame ass shit. But if we're going to make a difference in our lives and our dating lives and take it from bullshit to better, then we got to get out and do the work. So, of course, I'll be looking forward to telling you about the shenanigans that I get into. And I look forward to you guys sending me emails, letting me know about the shit going on in your lives. Because, again, this is a place where we talk about all the bullshit. Your bullshit, my bullshit, the bullshit of the world, and anything that's just bullshitty in general. So if ever you feel like you want to share something, and if you're comfortable, of course, with having it in a show, put that in your email. But if you're not, also let me know. Because I wouldn't want to, fuck with your privacy, but we're cool, okay? And who knows, maybe the bullshit that you're going through is some bullshit that we're going to talk about, and it may be relatable to somebody. So if you ever want to send us an email with your bullshit, they all can be sent over to business.bs4bs.podcast@gmail.com. And of course, if you want to follow us over on TikTok, we are at Another BS Podcast. And over on Instagram and Threads, we are at another.bs podcast. And you can follow up with us there. You can send us things to our email. You could come to me in public if you know me and tell me about your experiences, because I will always listen. Because I like a good yapper, and I'm a good yapper, and I can't wait to come back and yap with you again. And thank you so much for turning in and tuning in to B is for Bullshit. I have been Ellen Go, and you have a wonderful night or morning if you're listening in the morning. Girl, I don't know what you got going on. Just have a great day. Love you. Bye.